So, hi, Amy Sharon. Well, gosh, I wish I could say, like, genuinely from my heart that I'm having a very, very happy holiday, but that would not be true at all. The only thing I can say and keep it real and be honest is that I know this too shall pass, and nothing can steal my joy. No matter what, with everything I've endured, I have never once doubted God. I've never, said, why is me, poor me? Sure, I've needed some help during really horrific times, but that doesn't make any of us bad people. I cannot believe there's people in this world that say that we're low lives and we're pathetic because we need help. My God, why shouldn't why shouldn't we get help if we're enduring horrific tragedies? That is what a righteous, godly, good person should do. We should help one another. And I've been dealing with a couple of really horrible men in my life, one for years, one for almost half a year, who love to put me down because there's been times in my life where I feared for my safety, feared for my well-being, and asked if anyone could help get me out of Texas, or if I was robbed or brutally beat up, hey, can somebody help me? And they're like, oh, she's so pathetic. And I can only say, you know what? The only real pathetic people are those who hate on people that need help. We are supposed to help one another. I have been helping people for, 30 years. Yes, I'm that old. uh, and even my mother recently met Johnny and said that she always thought I should become a nun or a missionary. Come on, we can laugh, right? I mean, she admitted that I've always tried to save the world. She admitted to Johnny that ever since I was young, I'm always trying to help people. And that's just me. I don't want to be a nun. No offense to nuns, that's just not my thing. But would I love to be a missionary? My mom's right. I think I would have made a great one, but God gave me, He chose me not for who I was, but for who I'm supposed to become. My own mother knows, as much as we fought in our past, she knows that I am such a cornball when it comes to helping people. That's why I just can't believe I get the hate I do, because in 9 years of enduring what most should never have to endure for a day, I have maybe gotten at the most maybe $2,000 in help. That's in 9 years. And I'm just adding up, because 50 here, 20 there. Y'all know how it is. Come on now. Nobody ever cuts a check for $5,000, or, not in our world, right? But the irony is that I gave a homeless man that I didn't even know was it last year, I think it was? He had almost frostbite on his feet. And when I saw he was walking barefoot, I put him in a hotel for almost a week. That was as much as I've gotten in donations in years. So I can't even worry about it. I have enough witnesses. Johnny witnessed me walking downtown Houston. He witnessed all these people. Hey, Amy, oh, you're the girl that gave us blankets 2 years ago. You're the girl that handed out food. And I've never been like, oh, you loser, you can't afford your own food. So I can't worry about the haters. I know that God is good. No matter what I've endured, I still believe there's a reason. I still believe in some kind of, maybe I am a hopeless, happy ending girl, but I still believe something good's going to come out of all this pain. If anything, I'm writing a really good song. I think it's really good. My dad and I used to write music together all the time. My dad was a Mr. Mom hit songwriter, and I was raised in beautiful Hollywood. No, okay. So, I grew up in Hollywood with a really creative dad who always taught me to endure the sad times through poetry and music and art. And I'm not ashamed to say that one of the reasons why I do as well as I do, concerning what I've endured, is because I do have a lot of creative outlets. I don't think people talk enough about how important it is to have some kind of hobby that helps you deal with stressors and maybe post-traumatic syndrome symptoms and things that I've had to deal with for years. I'm very sensitive to sounds. I don't talk about it, but I've been this way for probably 5 years now or less. And it's hard on people around me because they don't understand why I get startled like so easily to any loud sounds. And it's embarrassing to even have to explain, okay, that scared me. And they're like, why? And I'm like, well, you don't know my story, but I can't stand like loud. I can't even explain it. I'm very, very sensitive to sounds. I don't go to concerts anymore. I don't go to loud places anymore. Am I crazy? I don't think so. I'm just keeping it real that I can't deal with loud sounds. And, I didn't used to be this way. I worked in the modeling business for many years. I was a talent agent for years. I was around showbiz. I've done celebrity makeup back in my better days. And I was, music blaring, lights, camera, action. And I never, ever had to walk out of a room because I was traumatized by loud music and sounds. So be it. I mean, if that's the way it has to be probably the rest of my life, then I could only say that God has made me a stronger person. I've helped a lot of people under the table. I don't give names. They know who I am. I get thanked. I get thank you cards. I've had people make me gifts from all over, and sometimes I post proof of it, but not often. Even going all the way to the orphanage that I helped in Pakistan, Christian orphanage. But, this isn't about what we do, because really the real heroes in life are the people that don't talk about what they do. I was glad my own mother admitted that I'm always out to save the world, that I've always been this way since I was a kid. Because, if someone like my mom, who I've had, my... well, if you don't know my story, I'll respect my own mother, but I mean, I'm not ashamed to say we're okay together now, and that might blow the mind of many, but I do believe that we're not supposed to hate on one another. And in spite of it all, I still would never wish harm on my own mother. She, raised me actually to be a very strong person, and she knows that I'm stronger than most. And I do believe I got more of my heart from my father, and I don't regret saying that. My mother's the person I would take with me on a deserted island for sure, because she is one that would probably know how to survive. My real dad, even though he's been gone a very long time now, I don't know if my dad would have survived with his poetry and beautiful writings. I don't know. Mentally, yes, but not physically. And, so I guess I have a both of both that are advantageous to the hell that I've been through. But all I can say is, whether you believe me or not, that good things still happen to me all the time. A lot of bad, don't get me wrong. A lot of bad. But when I can sit there and think that I have a man that I know that would truly take a bullet for me, that I would do anything for as well. We've endured what most couples should never have to go through. And I'm not saying he's the one I'm going to marry. I don't know. But I do know that we met for a reason. And I do believe that we've kept each other going. It's, he's had a horrible, horrible childhood. He grew up in an orphanage. He never, for sure, he never really saw who his real dad was on paper. And then his stepdad went running after he beat him. And the school took him away. And he grew up in an orphanage, refused to get adopted. And that's Johnny I'm speaking of. And actually, he's told me to let people know that he wants to be called Michael, because it's a long story, but there's really not much about Johnny before he went in the orphanage. I had the police check out his name, and it was very bizarre. It looks like he was just kind of put there without, his birth certificate, without all these things. And sadly, when he was viciously robbed and they gave him a black eye and busted his forehead, he didn't know how mysterious his childhood was, because he couldn't get another ID. And he's actually having to fly all the way back to California just to get an ID, because nobody can figure out who he was before the age of 13 or 12. His mother passed away of cancer, uterine cancer, when she was only 33. So a lot of demons and a lot of troubles came out in his life while we're dating, because there's just things he didn't really understand, and then he was forced to deal with because he was a victim of a brutal crime. Now, as far as the aggravated assault that happened to both of us, that was almost 2 weeks ago. These evil and I hate to use the word evil, but I'm going to say it and proudly say it. that I believe these two journalists are extremely evil. And one of them is going out of his way to talk to one of the men that committed, they both committed aggravated assault against us. They came at us while we were sleeping, broke in the door, made us run, not dress, basically. And they think they outsmarted the police, but they are not going to get away with what they got away with. And I'm going to be doing some sworn affidavits. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but this journalist has posted on Google that he has spoken to one of the men that has a criminal, I was told, a criminal record a mile long. Now, whether that's true or not, I can't respond. But I know for sure he has a criminal record because it was told to me by someone that would have, let's just say, the expertise and validation to even tell me these type of things. But to think that there's a man that spends his life, let me tell you how scary this is, and then I'm not going to make this about the video. But it's so scary that I have tried to test him, and I've done videos where I've marked him private, meaning, only me can see it, and within seconds, it's on his Google hate site. Can you imagine how terrifying that is? Not only that, Facebook constantly notifying me that someone is logging in my Facebook from another area, another state, etc. Now, I've tested this journalist. His name is Robert, for those that don't know what I'm talking about. And the reason I don't want to talk about him is he actually likes it. He likes that he gets attention when I bring up his name. So let's not give the little pond scum, well, don't get me started. Let's not give him the pleasure and the satisfaction of thinking that we think he's important, because he's not. The only reason I'm bringing him up is because he's getting away with crimes. I've made multiple police reports against him, and now he's admitting that he's doing everything he can to get these men that could have killed Johnny and I, get him off the hook. Now, my feeling is, as much as Texas, my God, they have helped the criminals and made me feel worse than a serial killer and treated me worse than a felon, which I don't have any felonies, nor have I ever been convicted of a felony. And well, I have to say this. So, wait till you hear this. So, it's so funny, but it's not, and I don't want to get into it, but he's saying, somehow he's trying to get these people off crimes, and, my case against Texas, he did everything he could to get it dismissed. He did it in my case against the police department. He's saying that I make stuff up, even though hospital records and numerous police reports and things caught on camera and things caught on live videos that many of you have seen, because some of those videos had thousands of viewers in a day where I was proving a crime. Anyway, so for the record, I never ever had to call the police about problems until my hell in Texas, which, started about 9 years ago. So if someone really was someone that was crazy and called the police all the time, wouldn't she have a history of that? Wouldn't she have a history of going in and out of psych wards? It's such bogus junk. And then he's posted that I didn't really graduate from University of Texas. Not only did I graduate, but I graduated National Dean's List and basically with honors. My name is in this big red book with gold trim that my mother has a copy of. I was just blown away. And then he insinuates that I have multiple husbands. And he even insinuated that I possibly killed one of them. Oh my God. And I'm sitting here going, okay, happy holidays. But if I can put a smile on my face with people throwing that out all over social media, I don't know. Johnny read it and he was laughing, and I'm it's not funny. But it's so surreal and so creepy, psycho bizarre. I just can't even believe it. And then he's claiming I was married to Stephen Steele when the day before my ex went missing, my ex-fiance, whatever, he was my bodyguard, yes, whatever. If you knew my story, I had to have him around. Who, a year later, we engaged in a romantic relationship, something like that. And then we went and applied with the mayor's, some kind of assistance office for help as not married couple. He went missing the next day after he went to cash a check and never made it home. And that's been I can't even, it's so traumatic, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something. It's been a while. But the whole point is that this man is claiming I was married to that man only because, you know how when you're traumatized, plus I know I do have symptoms of post-traumatic syndrome, whatever. I think I maybe once or twice said my husband writing quickly, but there's like 300 messages, if not more in 2 years, where I clearly stated my either bodyguard or boyfriend or fiance. So I'm going, you're really gonna sit there when I was a victim of a crime and typing quickly that I misspoke myself, like that I'm a liar, that I'm secretly married, and that I possibly did something with this man? Like, it's so unbelievably cuckoo, like off the rocker, that we're not even gonna stoop ourselves down to that level, okay? If you don't mind, I don't mind. Let's keep it up close and personal, and let's keep it real. And there's nothing real about this man and any kind of slander and hate that he has conducted or written about me and terrorized people who, by upsetting people who love me. It's all good. I can't even believe this stuff. But anyway, very enough about me. Let's talk about you. No. Honestly, I just want to get out of Texas, but I do have a way to get out. But the way I look at it is if I go, then it's kind of like I'm running from the bad guys, and I kind of want to make sure the bad guys are put away and where they need to be. So I can't go yet. But I can honestly say that my game plan is very much to leave Texas sometime before the new year, after I get some sworn affidavits done, see what the heck's going on with my federal case, and that's it. And then I plan to have a somewhat normal life. I'm writing a screenplay right now, a short story, and I have someone who says he's for sure going to do this short film, and I'm excited about that. And I'm writing a song, and it's a song my dad and I wrote together that he never recorded. And so I'm excited about that. I quit playing piano, but maybe I'll start up again. I don't know. But I'm going to do whatever it takes to survive this hellish battle for justice. And what became a battle for justice became a battle for survival. And anyone that wants to hate on me for saying, my God, can someone help me? I just got robbed. I'm stranded. My car's been taken. I can't be bothered, my friends and supporters. Nor should you. You deserve better. I deserve better. And all I can say is, if you lived the life that we should be living, you would never hate on someone because they're down in their luck or because they're temporarily broke over a tragedy. There's a reason to everything I've done and everything I've said, pretty much. You can't make sense of the senseless, and that's all I can say about that. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all your prayers. I wanted to let you know that yesterday I went on Facebook from another device. It showed 201 messages, but when I looked from my phone, it showed less than 5 or something. It's all controlled. Don't be fooled by social media control. Don't be fooled by my numbers. My videos used to get in the thousands, as some of you remember, in one day. Now I'm lucky if it gets 500 in a day. Everything's being regulated for whatever reason, and I've learned the hard way that when you speak the truth will come after you. And these people, okay, these people who think that they're above the law, they're going to go down because too many people have copied my evidence. I didn't even know that my evidence is sitting in another state safely, that most of it's been stolen. All I can say is the truth will prevail. And those who have done wicked, evil things just for me telling the truth and being outspoken and doing radio for years like I did, just for me trying to be righteous and do things the right way, I won't give up. I'm smarter than people think. And all these people that think they can, or not that many actually, but a little bit of trolls here and there, and then people using fake names, and then some bogus journalist and one other journalist, out of 9 years of publicity or me speaking out against, well, organized corruption and crimes. We'll leave it like that. That's not that many, my friends. One of my evidence sites was at over 20,000 viewers in a short time, and there wasn't one hateful thing on that. It's easy to control social media. It's easy to delete what's credible. It's easy to put lies up there to confuse the masses, but it won't work because I've always said goodness will prevail. God is the final judge. I am only his righteous leader, and I will do everything as a different kind of warrior, as a justice warrior, to take everyone down that deserves to go down by my hard work and by speaking the truth and by not running away and let fear dictate my life. Thank you for watching this video, and please stay strong, and remember, you're not alone. You're never alone, and anytime you feel like nobody understands you, I might just be the person that does. And please private message me, but remember, these hackers are going into all my stuff and proving they can do it, so never put anything too personal, because you might just see it on Google like a couple of my friends now are dealing with. Alright? Nothing's that private. There is no freedom in this world, and when you're someone that speaks out against governmental agencies and corruption and crooked cops, you can guarantee that your life will never be the same. I've proved it. Ever since I put a cop in jail and won another case against a cop, my life has never been the same. I can only hope I get the justice I deserve, and I want the very same for each and one of you that have been done wrong by our lawless system. Alright, well, sorry to be so, I don't know, probably not the best holiday spirit video, but somebody has to keep it real, and I'm not afraid to speak the truth. Thank you. God bless our world, and please don't let hate ruin your life. Remember, this is just a little portion of your life. Do something great. They'll get tired of you. Just keep doing the right thing and they'll go away. I'm almost sure of that. Nobody wants to spend time taking down a good person. It's ridiculous. Eventually, if you fight back, they'll find a reason to put you down. Just let it go. Think to yourself, there's better things to do. Make a change for the better. Falling into this hate and evildoers' ways, it only makes you a horrible person in the end, because it affects your heart, your soul, and your mind. Take it from me. I started changing. Everyone around me was like, you're not the Amy I used to know. And I realized, I thought about it, I regrouped. I was like, oh my God, I'm becoming a bitter woman because I'm so angry about all the injustices. I'm not going to ever let that happen again. I'm going to try to get back to being me, and I hope you can do the same. Don't let evil change who you are. Don't let wickedness make you an awful person, because I know good people go bad for no fault of their own. And it doesn't mean really deep down you're a bad person, but don't let them win. They win if they get to you. That's it. Don't let bullies rule your world. You dictate your own life, and you make your own choices. Make them righteous choices. Be good people. Help those in need. A random act of kindness can change your life forever. I know firsthand. All right. Thank y'all. Bye-bye.